Vérité was a pre-dreadnought battleship of the Liberté class built by the French Navy. She had three sister ships, Liberté, Justice, and Démocratie. Vérité was laid down in April 1903, launched in May 1907, and completed in June 1908. Over a year after the revolutionary British battleship HMS Dreadnought made ships like Vérité obsolete. She was armed with a main battery of 4 305mm guns, compared to the 10 guns of the same caliber mounted on Dreadnought. Vérité took the French president on a goodwill trip to Russia in 1908 and visited America in September 1909. In September 1911, she was damaged by the explosion that destroyed her sister Liberté in Toulon. At the outbreak of World War I in August 1914, she covered troop convoys from North Africa to France along with the rest of the French Mediterranean fleet. She spent the rest of the war based at Corfu and later Mudros, without seeing any action at either location. After the end of the war, she was stricken from the Naval Register and broken up for scrap in 1922. Design. Vérité was laid down at the Forges et Chantiers de la Gironde shipyard in Bordeaux in April 1903, launched on 28 May 1907, and completed in June 1908, over a year after the radically innovative British battleship HMS Dreadnought, which rendered the pre-dreadnoughts like Vérité outdated before they were completed. The ship was 133.81 meters long between perpendiculars and had a beam of 24.26 meters and a full load draft of 8.41 meters. She displaced up to 14,489 metric tons at full load. The ship had a crew of between 739 and 769 officers and enlisted men. Vérité was powered by 3 vertical triple expansion engines with 22 Belleville boilers. They were rated at 18,500 indicated horsepower and provided a top speed of 19 knots. Coal storage amounted to 1,800 t. Vérité's main battery consisted of 4 cannon to 305mm model 1,893/96 guns mounted in 2 twin-gun turrets, one forward and one aft. The secondary battery consisted of 10 cannon to 194mm model 1902 guns, 6 were mounted in single turrets, and 4 in casemates in the hull. She also carried 13 9-pounder guns and 10 3-pounders. Additionally, the ship was armed with 2 450mm torpedo tubes submerged in the hull. The ship's main belt was 280mm thick and the main battery was protected by up to 350mm of armor. The conning tower had 305mm thick sides. Service history. Verité's first major assignment was received in late July 1908, a month after she joined the French fleet. She carried the President of France Armand Fallas to Reval, Russia, arriving on the 27th of July. There, Fallas visited with the Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, who inspected Vérité. She joined Liberté and Justice for a visit to the United States for the Hudson-Fulton celebration in September 1909. The 3 ships, representing France during the celebrations and commanded by Admiral Jules Laporte, were the first foreign ships to arrive. The ships departed from Brest and reached New York 7 days later, having run at an average of 16 knots. The performance of the ship's propulsion systems was regarded as satisfactory by contemporary naval experts, including the United States Naval Institute. In early 1911, the French Navy conducted experiments with wireless telegraphy, and used Vérité and Justice for the tests. The wireless transmitters could pick up messages as far as 72 miles away. On 25 September 1911, Liberté was destroyed by an accidental explosion in Toulon, the result of the spontaneous combustion of nitrocellulose gel in her ammunition magazines. Debris held by the explosion damaged several nearby battleships, including Vérité. At the outbreak of World War I in August 1914, Vérité was assigned to the 1st Division of the 2nd Squadron in the Mediterranean, along with République and Patrie. The French fleet was initially used to cover the movement of French troops, the 19th Corps, from Algeria to metropolitan France. As a result, the fleet was far out of position to catch the German battlecruiser HMS Dreadnought, which, contrary to French expectations, steamed to Constantinople rather than attempt to interfere with the troop transports. For the majority of the war, the French used the main fleet to keep the Austro-Hungarian fleet bottled up in the Adriatic Sea. In 1914 she participated in the Battle of Antiveri, where the battle line caught the Austro-Hungarian cruiser HMS Dreadnought by surprise and sank her. The French battleships then bombarded Austrian fortifications at Cattaro in an attempt to draw out the Austro-Hungarian fleet, which refused to take the bait. The French operations in the area were hampered by a lack of a suitable base close to the mouth of the Adriatic. The British had given the French free access to Malta, but it was hundreds of miles away. The Austrians also possessed several submarines, one of which torpedoed the dreadnought Jean Bart in December 1914. The threat from underwater weapons greatly limited French naval activities in the Adriatic. As the war progressed, the French eventually settled on Corfu as the primary naval base in the area. Later in the war, Vérité was sent to Mudros along with her sister ships. After the end of the war, Vérité was stricken from the Naval Register in 1922 and subsequently broken up for scrap.